Welcome to both of you to the festival. I know you've been here before, but what is it like to have your film here in such a huge festival and so widely recognized?
Oh, it's lovely, and the venue, the Winter Garden, and
it's going to be so.
Yeah, it's exciting. Obviously, Toronto Film Festival is it's world famous and it's renowned, and it's somewhere that you get very excited if you have a film there. So we're ecstatic, and particularly with this film, which we have such sort of affection and love for.
Yes, and it's really nice to bring it back to Canada, which is where we started filming it. That's also important, and I think these audiences are so warm. They're such enthusiastic cinephiles, the people who sit through films in Toronto, that I'm really relishing the opportunity to watch it with them tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm not just saying this, but I really loved this film.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, for me, I think it was because it was such a mixed bag of emotions.
Yeah.
You're laughing, and then I had a few tears, and I mean, how fun was it to work on this?
It was enormous fun, and it is because it reflects life in that respect, is that life is tonal shifts, 1 minute you're crying, next minute you're laughing. That's what life is really like, and happiness is part of that process. Happiness is something we feel amid all of that, and it's okay to feel the other stuff as well. You need to feel the other stuff. You need to have tears in order to have laughter. I know that sounds very trite, but it's true, and I think the film encapsulates that process a little bit, which is fun. But yes, working with Rosamund is like my dream job.
We have a really lovely time together. It's very nice, and I think everything that you said about all the things that the film, you experienced that. We got to experience a sort of the full feeling of being alive in making this film, which is ultimately, what the film's about. It's about opening your arms to life and letting experience flood in, which is generally, for two Brits, that's not what the sort of British culture is.
We
sort
don't
of,
like that.
We're very suspicious of that kind of approach to life.
Any sort of emotion is very vulgar.
Well, I read that your director, Peter, said that you were perfect for this part. What was your first reaction to Hector when you read the script? What was your take? What was your take on
I thought I'm perfect for this part. No.
I'm a quirky psychiatrist.
I thought, this is going to be a challenge because he's not entirely. I don't think he's particularly likable at first. He seems a bit numb and a bit sort of, you think, what's wrong with you? Your first question is, why are you going to leave what you seemingly have is perfect? But that's the point, is that what he has, even though it's very comfortable, both him and Clara, because they both go on their respective journeys in this film, albeit we follow Hector, and Clara, you get the sense, has her own journey. He's like, you kind of are a little kind of frustrated with him for even considering that he doesn't have a nice life. What are you talking about? You've got everything you need. And yet you learn with him that, happiness is something a lot deeper than just having stuff or being with someone who compliments you. Love is a far more chaotic and dangerous emotion than just cooperation, which is what they have. They have an agreement more than a relationship.
And what was your take on Clara? I mean, she's very organized, and she doesn't really seem too much in the present, which is maybe why she's not that happy.
No, she's very organized, and I generally think that if you have to control every part of your life, to the nth degree, then it's usually because there's some deep-rooted fear, because you're worried about what the alternative is if everything isn't entirely ordered. Everything's neat. Their system runs on the fact that any mistake, any error, any glitch in the system is quickly rectified by Clara. Hector forgets his keys, she's there waiting with them. He doesn't have time to have breakfast, she's made it for him, she packs his lunch, everything. It's a sort of, it's a mothering instinct.
Do that as well, doesn't he?
And he lets her do it, and so she likes to be needed and he needs her, and it's not, it hasn't opened the floodgates to the sort of raw, chaotic, adventure that can be, that love should be, that a great love affair should be. So that's what she learns, and that's what they ultimately learn through the course of the film, and that's something that speaks very personally to me, I think.
It was a lovely film. Congratulations to you both.
Thanks.